Old soul truth revealed. Isolated yet chosen. The pain of being chosen. Why old souls feel alone. The chosen ones never know they are chosen. They think everyone gets a gold carpet rolled out for them. Taylor Jenkins Reid. I still remember the day I walked into that crowded room, full of people chatting, laughing, and living their lives. Yet, as I stood there, I couldn't shake the overwhelming feeling that I didn't belong. I was disconnected, lost even. Why did it feel this way? Why did I feel so alone when I was in the midst of so many? Is this feeling, this struggle, something many chosen ones experience? So, why can't chosen ones be around a lot of people? Let's explore this deeper, because it's a question that so many of us grapple with, even when it seems like no one else could possibly understand. You know, the chosen one is you, an old soul trapped in the 21st century, which is why you often feel lonely. Have you heard of it before? Quite simply, an old soul is a person who feels much older than their age reflects. This feeling is often accompanied by the gift of empathy, high intelligence, intuition, and keen insight into the human condition. Old souls are often outsiders looking in. They feel as though they don't belong in this world or this period of time. As a result, most old souls long for a sense of true meaning, purpose, and inner fulfillment that money, power, and success can't achieve. This longing is often described as the thirst to return back home. There are two major types of old souls: those that are born with the sensation of being different, and those who grow into becoming old souls through the process of spiritual awakening. We'll explore old souls and spiritual awakening more a little later. Robert Frost, Eckhart Tolle, Jim Carrey, Oprah Winfrey, and even Nick Jonas have been called old souls. Perhaps even you have? If you have not yet discovered whether you're an old soul, read some of the revealing signs below. 1. You tend to be a low elf. Olf. Because old souls are disinterested in the pursuits and interests of the people in their age groups, they find it dissatisfying to make friends with people they find hard to relate to. This sense of alienation is one of the major problems old souls experience. The result is that old souls tend to find themselves alone a lot of the time. They struggle to connect deeply with others because most other people don't have the same interests or values as them. 2. You love knowledge, wisdom, and truth. And this might seem a little highbrow, but the old soul finds herself naturally gravitating towards the intellectual side of life. Old souls inherently understand that knowledge is power, wisdom is happiness, and truth is freedom. So why not seek after those things? These pursuits are more meaningful to them than reading up on the latest gossip about the Kardashians or the latest football scores. 3. You're spiritually inclined. Old souls tend to have sensitive and spiritual natures. Experiencing a spiritual awakening, overcoming the confines of the ego, seeking spiritual enlightenment and self-realization, and fostering love and peace are often at the core of the old soul's ultimate quest in life. 4. You understand the transience of life. Old souls are frequently plagued with reminders of their own mortality and that of everything and everyone around them. In fact, it's not uncommon for the old soul to have multiple existential crises throughout life, especially during difficult situations that highlight the impermanence of existence. Being very perceptive and sensitive toward the reality of death, old souls choose to live their lives differently. Every decision counts. 5. You're thoughtful and introspective. Old souls tend to think a lot about everything. It's crucial for an old soul to get enough space and time to reflect, introspect, and develop more self-awareness. This natural tendency toward rumination helps them to quickly learn from their actions and understand the people and environments around them. Many old souls practice a natural form of shadow work in which they are constantly reflecting on how they could do better, prevent their issues from getting bigger, and create more inner harmony. 6. You see the bigger picture. Old souls dislike getting lost in the superficial details of gaining useless degrees, job promotions, social prestige, and better iPhones. Instead, old souls prefer to look at life from a bird's eye perspective, striving to find the wisest and most meaningful way of living and using their time. After all, life can end at any moment, so why waste time on trivial details? 7. You aren't materialistic. Wealth, status, fame, and the latest tech gadget. Old souls take little interest in these things. After all, what's the point of seeking these socially paraded goals if they can easily be taken away? What's the point if the fulfillment isn't long-lasting or soul-enriching? 8. You were a strange, socially maladaptive kid. This is not always the case, but many old souls exhibit odd signs of maturity at young ages. Often these children are labeled as being precocious, introverted, or rebellious, failing to fit into the mainstream behaviors. Usually, these children are extremely inquisitive and intelligent, seeing the purposelessness of many things their teachers, parents, and peers say and do, and either passively or aggressively resist them. If you can talk to your child like says he's an adult, you've probably got an old soul on your hands. 9. You've undergone an existential crisis. Sis. It's common for old souls to ask deep and penetrating questions about life in their search for love, truth, and freedom. This quest to live a meaningful existence inevitably means that they will, sooner or later, experience an existential crisis. An existential crisis is what happens when a person starts to see through the lies and delusions within society. They may wonder what life is really about, whether they have a true purpose, and start to think about the human condition more. Is life just a product of chance? What's the point of everything I've done? What is all this about anyway? These are the types of questions old souls ask during the existential crisis. 10. You see life through a poetic, contemplative lens. Old souls take time to enjoy life. They see things that others don't see. Take nature, for example. An old soul will enjoy the way the wind dances through the trees, while someone else may just walk straight by, disinterested or blind to the simple beauty before them. Old souls also take time to contemplate life. The smile and laughter of a child is something to stop and savor. The striking beauty of a piece of art is something to ponder. The words of a great writer are something to meditate on. See Lectio Divina. There is so much in life to stop, appreciate, and reflect on. 11. You tend to overthink everything. While old souls are contemplative types of people, this can also prove to be a painful and challenging quality. For instance, most old souls struggle with the curse of overthinking practically everything. Choosing from a menu at a cafe, for example, can be a strangely painstaking experience. There are so many options. Which is the right one? What would taste the best? What is the most ethical? What is the best value for money? What is right for this time of the day? Etc. Social situations are no better, which leads to the next point. 12. You struggle with anxiety in social situations. Put the tendency to overthink everything alongside conscientiousness and strong empathy, and you have a recipe for social anxiety. Throw in a little bit of eccentricity, i.e., not sharing the same interests as most people, and we have an unavoidable tendency towards lingering social discomfort. Although many old souls are confident, calm, and self-possessed people, social situations are complex and tiring. There are so many elements to consider: fragile egos, etiquette, boundaries, reciprocity, unspoken but obvious insecurities, etc., that they often prefer just being left by themselves. With that being said, when old souls do find someone they connect with or find interesting, they tend to form strong and intense connections quite quickly. It's one of the greatest joys of life to find fellow kindred spirits. 13. You easily fall into the role of advisor or counselor. People flock to old souls for advice like a moth drawn to a flame. Attracted to their level-headedness and wisdom, it's common for family members, friends, and workplaces to naturally position the old soul as advice giver. While most old souls don't mind this, it's common for them to feel inundated and overwhelmed by the magnitude of others' problems. Even so, old souls enjoy helping others. It's more of a pleasure than a burden to give guidance to those in need. 14. You enjoy the company of those much older than you. Old souls tend to make friends with older folks way more often than younger people, including those of the same age. There is something so down-to-earth, engaging, and layered about those who have been around much longer than the rest. Besides, it's comforting being around those whose external energy matches the old soul's internal energy. There's something compatible there. No need to go running around like a headless chicken to parties, concerts, and what have you. Instead, old souls can enjoy sitting around a fire or lounging on the patio chairs, having a good old-fashioned talk and exchanging stories. 15. You crave simplicity. In some areas of life, old souls respect and even like complexity. But overall, what most old souls crave deep down is simplicity. There is a certain purity, beauty, and Zen-like appeal in the simple life. Some old souls may find themselves drawn toward minimalism, while others may take a minimalistic attitude toward everyday responsibilities and other pursuits. The old soul's thirst for simplicity is very much connected to their love of heart, soul, and essence. Whatever is true and worthy can easily be found in simplicity. 16. You're attracted to all things vintage. While this might not be the case for all old souls, many find themselves drawn toward old music, old furniture, old architecture, old books, old clothing, really, anything old. Some old souls feel more at home in bygone eras, 18th century horse and carriage, 1920s jazz, etc., while others have an appreciation for even older cultures, e.g. Zhao or shamanic and tribal periods. 17. You just feel old inside. Throw away the old soul label for a moment and focus on how you feel inside. How old would you be if you didn't know how old you are? Those who realize that they feel much older than their age are often old souls at heart. Common feelings that accompany being an old soul usually include a feeling of world weariness, mental tiredness, inquisitiveness, watchful patience, and the sensation of being an outsider looking in. You are the chosen one if you resonate with any of these signs. Right. It's a relief to know that the sensitivity and solitude you often feel aren't signs of weakness, but a reminder of a higher purpose. The journey of being a chosen one often feels isolating, but knowing that I'm not alone and that others are experiencing this too brings so much comfort. Embracing this sensitivity as a strength is something you are learning to do, and it's amazing to see it as a gift rather than a burden. The path of solitude may seem daunting at first, but in this solitude, you will uncover the most powerful truths about yourself. In a world where everyone is connected through social media and noise, it is in moments of silence that you truly connect with your higher self. You see, solitude isn't something to be feared. It is a gift, a tool, a sacred space where you can discover who you truly are beneath the layers of external expectations and distractions. Think of the great spiritual leaders, thinkers, and creators throughout history. They all had one thing in common: a moment of solitude. Whether it was Buddha meditating under the Bodhi tree, Jesus retreating to the wilderness, or modern-day figures who find peace and insight in their quiet moments, they all understood that solitude is where transformation happens. They embraced their solitude because they knew that in those quiet moments, their spirit was free to awaken and reveal the greater purpose they were meant to fulfill. And now, it's your turn. You are here, watching this video, listening to these words, because the universe has called you. You are the chosen one. It's time to step into your spiritual mission, and you cannot do this if you remain distracted by the noise of the world. This is not a random coincidence. You are being asked to take a deeper look at your life and hear the quiet whispers of your soul that have been there all along. Imagine for a moment that you could step away from all the obligations, the expectations, and the distractions. What would you hear if you allowed yourself to simply be still? In the silence, you would hear your soul's desires, its purpose, its unique calling. This is where the magic happens. Your spiritual mission is not a one-size-fits-all journey. It is as unique as your fingerprint, tailored specifically for you, based on your experiences, your challenges, and your dreams. The truth is, you are not meant to follow the same path as everyone else. You are here to create something new, something that only you can bring into this world. Your spiritual mission is an invitation to go beyond the ordinary, to tap into the extraordinary potential within you. The universe has entrusted you with a mission, a purpose, and it is up to you to answer that call. As you embrace solitude, you will begin to shed the layers of self-doubt and fear. You will start to trust yourself, your intuition, and your inner wisdom. You will come to understand that your purpose is not something you need to seek externally, but something that has been within you all along, waiting to be realized. Jesus, a figure of profound spiritual depth, often retreated into solitude, teaching us a powerful lesson about only. In a world full of distractions and demands, Jesus understood the importance of stepping away to connect deeply with the divine. His moments of solitude weren't just about being alone. They were about aligning with his higher purpose, recharging his spirit, and receiving guidance from God. Jesus often withdrew to quiet places, like the wilderness or the mountains, to pray and reflect. These moments weren't just breaks from his busy ministry. They were times when he listened to his inner calling, reconnected with his mission, and sought clarity. In the solitude, he found strength, peace, and direction, especially before major events like choosing his disciples or facing the crucifixion. Jesus modeled that solitude is essential for spiritual growth. It's in the quiet that we can hear our true calling, feel divine presence, and renew our spirit. For us, his example shows that to awaken spiritually, we must embrace times of stillness, where we can go within, listen to our heart, and reconnect with the source of our strength. In solitude, Jesus found the courage to face challenges and remain true to his mission, a lesson we can carry into our own lives. Just as Jesus embraced solitude to deepen his spiritual connection, understanding the age of the soul helps us recognize the wisdom and growth that come with each phase of our spiritual journey. So, what soul age are you? Below are the 5 soul ages in order from beginner to intermediate, and then to advanced. You'll also discover the 6th soul age, which transcends all others, the elder soul. Infant souls are at the very beginning of their spiritual journey, much like young children experiencing the world for the first time. Their primary focus is simply being alive, learning the basic skills necessary for survival, and understanding the physical world around them. These souls are often seen as raw, untamed, and excitable, possessing a childlike innocence that leads them to approach life with simplicity and curiosity. They are typically cautious, group-reliant, and feel most comfortable in familiar, tribal-like settings, rather than in the complexities of modern society. Infant souls may struggle to adapt to the expectations of a more structured or civilized world, preferring to live in natural, wild environments where they can explore, play, and survive. Their journey is one of fundamental learning, focused on basic survival instincts, the experience of mortality and physicality. If you identify with these traits, it might be that your soul is still in its infancy, learning the foundational lessons of life. Secondly, baby souls are at a stage where their primary focus is on belonging and understanding their place in the world. Much like children growing up in a structured environment, baby souls are deeply focused on social structure, rules, roles, and human relations. They seek to make sense of life by adhering to established norms and traditions, and their sense of identity is often shaped by cultural, religious, or moral frameworks. These souls are typically compliant, disciplined, and regimented, valuing order and stability in a world that can seem chaotic and unpredictable. Baby souls tend to be absolutist, holding firm to what they believe is right and wrong, and often look to traditional systems, whether religious or societal, to guide them. They can be perceived as rigid, clean, and modest, often following the rules and acting dutifully in accordance with the values of their community. At this stage, baby souls are learning the importance of structure, discipline, and the social roles that help them find their place in the world. Thirdly, young souls are in a phase where their primary focus is on independence and personal advancement. Much like adolescence, they crave freedom, individuality, and the opportunity to carve out their own path. This stage is defined by a strong desire for self-expression, personal achievement, and material gain. Young souls are often ambitious, competitive, and innovative, driven to make their mark on the world and prove their worth. They seek social status and the ability to shape their own future, often adopting a my way or the highway mentality. Their energy is directed toward external success, and they are typically very focused on career, business, and personal accomplishments. While this drive can sometimes make them appear self-centered or workaholic, it is through this pursuit of independence that they learn valuable lessons about free will and the power of choice. As agents of change, young souls are often behind many of the greatest advancements in technology, business, and culture, as they push boundaries and challenge the status quo in their quest for personal growth. Next, adult souls are at a stage where their primary focus shifts to interpersonal harmony and psychological stability. Unlike the earlier stages of life, where material success and personal achievement were at the forefront, adult souls are deeply concerned with building meaningful relationships, understanding others, and developing emotional maturity. These souls are often sensitive, introspective, and inquisitive, with a strong desire for empathy and connection. They may appear neurotic at times, as they grapple with the complexities of life and the subtle dynamics of human emotions. However, their struggles are driven by a deep caring for others and a commitment to creating balance in their relationships. Adult souls tend to be diplomatic, cooperative, and egalitarian, valuing harmony and mutual support over competition. Their focus is no longer on survival or external validation, but on fostering understanding, self-awareness, and interdependence. As they navigate life, they learn valuable lessons about the importance of empathy, psychological stability, and the power of collaboration, striving to create a more compassionate and balanced world around them. Old souls are at the final stage of the reincarnational cycle, having traversed through all the previous phases of existence. With a deep understanding of society, relationships, and the world at large, these souls are characterized by a sense of spiritual fulfillment and a desire for non-attachment. By this stage, old souls have accumulated vast wisdom and life experience, and they often find day-to-day life less stimulating, as few things can surprise or unsettle them. They tend to be solitary, philosophical, and detached, not driven by external achievements or material desires, but focused on inner peace and spiritual growth. Empathetic and humanitarian, they often see life as an interconnected tapestry, seeking to become one with the universe rather than exert control over it. Their lessons are about autonomy, spiritual awareness, and offering wise counsel to others, guiding those around them with a sense of calm, understanding, and acceptance. Old souls radiate a quiet, profound wisdom that comes from a lifetime of learning and growing, always seeking deeper spiritual connection and self-actualization. Elder souls represent the culmination of the soul age cycle, having completed the journey through all the stages of growth and transformation. These souls have undergone a profound spiritual awakening, transcending the limitations of the ego and reconnecting with their true divine nature. They embody a deep sense of inner peace, wisdom, and unconditional love, radiating the light of enlightenment in everything they do. Often referred to as enlightened or spiritual masters in society, elder souls have transcended the material world and no longer seek external validation or achievement. Their existence is one of profound unity, compassion, and self-realization, where they are deeply aware of the interconnectedness of all beings. Elder souls live to serve, guide, and inspire others on their spiritual journeys, offering their wisdom with humility and grace. At this stage, the pursuit of spiritual growth has evolved from personal development to a state of unity with the divine, embodying the highest levels of consciousness and the truest form of divine love. As we've explored, the chosen one often feels a sense of isolation because they are an old soul, carrying the wisdom and experiences of many lifetimes. This deep connection to their higher purpose often sets them apart from others, leading to loneliness that is not just about being physically alone, but about a spiritual journey that few can truly understand. Recognizing the signs of an old soul can help us embrace this loneliness as a powerful tool for spiritual awakening, rather than something to fear or resist. Loneliness, when approached with the right perspective, becomes a catalyst for growth and deeper spiritual insight. The Age of the Soul teaches us that each stage of spiritual evolution brings us closer to a more profound understanding of who we are and why we're here. So, if you resonate with feeling like the chosen one, understand that your solitude is not a curse, but a gift, an invitation to awaken, reflect, and ultimately live in alignment with your true purpose. What if your loneliness is exactly what you need to step into the power you were always meant to embrace? Reflect on that as you move forward on your journey. Let the silence guide you, and perhaps you'll discover that the path of the chosen one is not one of solitude, but of profound spiritual connection. Let me know in the comments, what are the signs you are experiencing, and what is your soul age?